Good morning, everybody. It's Marg from Creative Stamping with Marg. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Alberta, Canada. Glad you could join me today. This month I'm focusing on using up my DSP. So today I'm going to be using a piece of the Dainty Flowers DSP, which was part of the promotion from the celebration that went on in February. So this piece is 5 1/4 by 12 inches. And I've scored it at 2 and 5 and 8. You're also going to need a piece of matching cardstock. This piece is Blushing Bride, and it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That will be the back of our card. And there's several different ways to put this card together. I'll show you one way, and then I have some other samples to show you. So basically, once you've scored it, you're going to fold it. And it's going to be folded so it looks like this. I'll show you on the top fold so you can sort of see that it almost looks like an M, okay, with the short side on the front. So you have to decide which way you want your paper to be, if you want it to be this way or if you would rather have the little floral showing. So that's however you decide to fold your paper. So that's your first decision. So this piece, the bigger piece, gets glued right onto the back of your cardstock. And that basically is our basis for our card, and then we'll do some designing of it. So we can do that right away. I'm going to use my liquid glue, Tombow liquid glue, which is my favorite. Make sure it's running good today. There we go. So you're gluing the bigger piece to the back and making sure that you're going the right way. If there's a direction to your paper, which this one does, have flowers going one way. Basically, I'm just going to fold it up so that we can center this. Okay, and do be careful when you're doing your scoring that it is designer series paper, so it's a bit thinner than your cardstock, so you don't want to tear it, so don't press really hard when you're scoring it. So that's what the card is going to look like when it's closed. Now we have to decide what we want to do. You can leave this card so that it is like this, and you can put things on, you can put die cuts or whatever on any of the sides. You can, what my thought is, I am using the Nature's Prints bundle. So there's the Nature's Prints. And I've done some stamping already and die cutting just to show you. And there's the matching dies that go with it. So I have stamped this leafy piece in Rich Razzleberry and die cut it out. There is a die that matches that. And I've stamped the fern in Old Olive and also die cut it out. And there is a die in this set that has For the Greetings, and it's a really nice one. Has a nice edge on it. So I thought I would use all of that. And the words I'm using are Best Wishes and Happy Thoughts, which comes from this set. So I've mounted that already onto here. And I'm going to stamp it in Rich Razzleberry. And again, I'm being very brave because normally I would stamp this on a piece of white cardstock and then die cut it out so that I know it's straight. I'm going to be brave today and see that I get this right. Now, the one thing I like to do is I like to practice stamping on a piece of scrap paper just to see how it looks. It looks good. I do have a bit of an edge there, so I need to know not to lean on it too hard. Okay, and this just fits on here. So just light pressure so that I'm not, hopefully, oh, that looks good. Best wishes and happy thoughts. Get that out of here so we don't. And because I've done all the other stamping, I don't think I need my ink anymore. I'll put it out of the way. All right. So my thought about this was just to put this on here and tuck these in behind just to give it some some color, and I thought that looked really nice. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to want to glue this flap right down so that this would be one piece, because this is quite long. It goes across the whole piece. Now, you could also attach ribbon in here, have ribbon coming over. I don't think I want to use any ribbon on this card, so I thought what I would do is just do it a really simple way. I'm going to glue this down. So this is the front flap. I'm just gluing it right down. Like I said, you could have left it open, but this would have stuck off the side. So I don't know how that would have looked. I think this is going to work well with this glued down. So I'm just gluing it down. So now it's one panel. So now it looks like this when it stands up, like a Z. And I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. And I'm probably 3 dimensionals on here should do it. And that leaves me room to tuck my little ends of my die cuts underneath it. All right. So just like that. I'm thinking I will, maybe I won't center it, maybe I'll put it down below here. And I want it to fit on that front piece, so I think it looks pretty good like that. And then I'm just going to add some glue and stick these down, and I think that's going to do it. Just like that. Now, I realize I don't have my inside piece cut, but we'll get to that in just a sec. So I think I will glue this one down first. And there was a stamp set that went with this paper, or there is a stamp set, I should say. It's in the mini catalog called Dainty Design, maybe. And it's been out of stock for a little bit, so I never got it. So I went looking through my sets to see which sets I had that had some foliage on them that I thought might go with this, and I think this one looks all right. Now, I was just going to point out to you, as I turned this over to glue it, you can see that I stamped on the other side of this, and it wasn't very good, so I turned my piece of paper over and stamped it again. No one but you and I are going to know that this was stamped on the wrong side here. I'm going to just tuck this underneath, I think like that. There, I think that looks really nice. So there's very simple card using a 12-inch strip of DSP, and out of a 12 by 12 piece you can get 2 of these cards at that measurement. So that's like that. Now what I needed to do, and I didn't do it, and I apologize for that, is I needed to cut a piece of white to go on the inside, and the piece of white to do the writing on would be 2 3/4 by 5 inches, and I would just glue it right there, and then I would have a place to write, and when you close the card you're not going to see that. So that's what I would do with that. I'll show you in another card where I was more prepared to do that. All right, so that's a very simple way. Another way you can make this card is you can also glue this part to this part, and then it would just be like this. But to me, that sort of defeats the purpose of cutting such a long piece of DSP. So I would leave it like that. So there's our quick and easy one right there. I didn't do any embellishing on it. I can do that. Let's see what we have for embellishments that might look good. The back of this is Blushing Bride. So I don't have any Blushing Bride embellishments, but I do have the classic, the champagne rhinestones. I wonder what they would look like. Not sure I like that. Let's see what else I have here that might go with this pink. Or you can always use opal rounds, and they pick the pink up. You could also use iridescent rhinestones. They also pick up the pink. So there's all these choices. I could have used pearls, which I haven't used. I have iridescent pearls. Let's use those. I haven't used those in a long time. Let's use the iridescent pearls, because they really are pretty. So those are the iridescent pearl basic jewels, and they have a nice shimmery color to them. So I will take, they come in 2 sizes, so I will put a big one there. And then I will put a couple of small ones right there. There, and that made that have a little more bling on it. That's pretty. All right, so there's that one card done. I will show you another one that I did using the Adorable Owls stamp set that came from Celebration, and I just loved it. Let's get this out of the way. This again uses a 5 1/4 by 12-inch piece of DSP, and for this one I used the Dandy Design package, and again you have to like both sides of the DSP. So this one is like this, done exactly the same way as the other one. And I used Hello There, actually came from Nature's Prints. That's from this one right here that we just used. And I used a hexagon. I used some ribbon behind the owl. I colored the owl with my blends. These ones are Smoky Slate, light and dark Smoky Slate. And then I had orange, pumpkin pie, and balmy blue. This paper is balmy blue, and that's the color of the backing for this one. I did emboss a circle, a stitched circle. So I have that embossed behind him. And this is a retired die that I used for the branch for him to sit on. I thought that looked cute. And there's the white paper on the inside. I did use a stitched rectangle to cut that, and I put another one of the branches up there, and I thought that still left me lots of room to write. So that's cute. I thought that was a really cute one. Now, another way to use this same fold is to use it as a gift card holder. And I had done this a long time ago and forgotten that it's exactly the same fold. And you've got pockets now. So if I had turned this card this way, and not glued this down, you would have had pockets. So it's exactly the same if I turn it this way. And for this one, take these out, I did use a piece of twine around, and it holds this pocket here. So there's no glue on this. This is not glued at all. None of this, just glued onto your backing paper. And then I stamped a piece of white, and it says Christmas greeting, so you could write a message there, and tucked it in there like that. And then another one, I stamped just a little design on the corners of this one, and you can attach a gift card with a glue dot. You just attach a gift card and it goes right in there. So that's another way to use the same fold. So of course it doesn't stand up, it's just a gift card holder. So that's another option for that card. So that's a really great way to use up some more DSP. Like I said, 5 1/4 by 12-inch piece. And decorate it however you like. And remember to decorate your envelopes, and that'll use even more DSP up. So those are the 3 variations for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I've got lots of 12 by 12 DSP that I could be using for this particular fold, and it does stand up nicely. So I like that about the cards. So I hope you'll give that a try. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.